Nothing else from this drawer. Oops. Won't close. Oh, snap. Guys, welcome to Accessorize Your Life. Thank you for tuning in. Well, I'm back with another Shop My Stash, and this time it's for May. By the way, happy May Day. The 1st of May is May Day, and that's when you're seeing this. And yeah, why the ookie spookies? Yeah, like the spiders on the ears and the scarf? Well, because when I'm filming this video, it is April 30th, and we are 6 months or halfway to Halloween. 6 months before Halloween. So I decided to do a Halloween look wearing my accessories, and I used one of my eyeshadow palettes right here, Blood Moon. This is by Wendy's Cosmetics, to do this eye look. Just a bunch of orange, purple, and a little bit of shimmer down there. So yeah, that's why I am looking like Halloween and talking about May. Well, May is a time when we think flowers. So I am going to spring into May because we finished with all the rain, hopefully, and cooler weather, and now we can have warmer weather and think light floral things. And I know May Day is not celebrated here. I think our day closest to May Day is Labor Day, which we have in September. But anyway, May Day abroad, I think they do a bunch of flowers, greenery. They have the maypole or whatever, where they dance around the pole with ribbons and everything. Yeah, we don't do that here. The closest I'll get to anything related to May Day is shopping my stash for things that are floral and green and pretty. So keep watching to see what I think about the products that are in my tray for April and what I'll be pulling for May. So we're going to start with concealers. I pulled in 2 concealers from NYX, and they're the Bear With Me concealers, which tout themselves as being serums as well as concealers. They say that they are very hydrating for the skin and also covers dark circles. I found the latter not to be so accurate for me, because I had to pull in my MAC palette here. This is a little Conceal and Correct palette, and I've been using that deep red in there to conceal, correct I should say, under my eyes before I go in with my concealers. So very hydrating, very serum-like, but when it comes to covering up those dark under eye circles, I definitely had to have some help. So I added this to my tray, and I think it's going to live permanently in my tray until I find something better. Or if I do. So these will be going back. Not bad, but it doesn't do all it says it's supposed to do. I wanted to use some foundations to see if they were still any good and whether or not I like them or if I want to repurchase them. I had 2 samples of Pure here, and I think I'm done with it, although I didn't mind them, but there's other things, bigger things, better things that I think I can try. These are the Pure Selfie Long Wear Foundation, and it's supposed to have a concealer in it as well. And actually I did by mistake wear this as a did I wear it as a concealer? I may have. So they're not bad at all. So if you're looking for a budget-friendly foundation / concealer, I would recommend this because I do like them. I had 2 shades here, and I found the deeper one to be a better match for me. I think it was DG6, yeah, and I'm usually a neutral, but I can go golden sometimes. They are, of course, showing that they have little windows in them, so it's time to declutter them. So you'll see that coming up pretty soon. So they're going there and not into my collection. The MAC. I had the Studio Tech, and I have it in shade NC50. This as a cream to powder foundation has always, in my book, been a little heavy. It is a great match for me. I'm definitely NC50 in MAC products. but and you can see this is kind of dried out in there. It just goes on really thick. It didn't smear, but it just was very cakey. So I think for that reason alone, and it's old, I'm going to declutter it. So I will not add it back. Now, for as a foundation primer, I failed to pull one into my collection. Maybe I was thinking that my sunscreen would do the job, but for makeup looks when I wasn't going outside and I was just sitting in here, I needed to pull something, so I pulled out the Lacura. Again, this is from Aldi's, and it is a silicone primer. So far, I've only used it once. I like it. I think I'm going to let it ride in my tray. I'm not going to put it back, but I may pull out one of the silicone primers I picked up during the month of April. Alrighty. Next we have powders, and guys, this is where I hit a moment of like, ta-da! You know, a light bulb went off in my head, because I don't know if I didn't think much about powders or what, but for some reason I have 4 in my collection. I think I shopped for 3, and then I seem to have added the Givenchy Libra Prim, what is this called? Prism Libre, I had it backwards, to the tray. I'm not sure why I did, but I did. At first I was thinking I was going to declutter the Velvetizer by Urban Decay, but no, I'm going to hold on to it because I think it is just what it claims to be. And I also found out something new about it. This is, like the name said, if I was to take the time and read, a mix-in medium. So that means that some of Urban Decay's foundations, you can mix this powder into it and get a more velvety and smooth and matte finish to your foundations. I've never tried it that way because I didn't simply read the bottle or jar. So I was going to declutter this, but it is so silky, guys. It's so light. It's feather light going on. It's just worth keeping, and I think you can't get it right now. So I do want to use it more and get to know it for what it's worth now. So like I said, I have an Urban Decay foundation. If I didn't say it, I do, and I may want to try this with it, but definitely want to use this under my eyes because that's what I have always been using it for. So I did do that some during the month, but I'm going to keep it in my tray and continue to use it. Now, the Laura Geller I pulled because it's a highlighting powder, and I've had it forever and a day, and I just simply think it's just too light for me. Even to use, it looks translucent, but no, it's not. It's kind of a light color, powdery looking color. I thought it would be a good powder for highlighting areas or, you know, things like that, but I think it's just too dry, and I think it's had its better days. Yes, it's a highlighter, French vanilla, so it has a little color to it, and it looks very powdery. So I think I'm going to let this go. I'll declutter that one. And then I have 2 other powders. Like I said, I have the Givenchy Prism Libre, and we all know what that does. It's a finishing powder, yet it's matte, and it just evens out your skin tone and finishes up your look. It kind of corrects your look, if you will. Now, I found out that finishing powders basically should match your foundation, or they should be translucent so that they just give you a little glow and make your pores look less noticeable. This one makes you look a little matte and evens the skin tone, so it's kind of bordering the line there a little bit. But the Flower Beauty, no, it's not called Flower Beauty, Bakery Flour Powder, Pinch of Flour it's called. I have it in a shade, and what it does, because it's a setting powder, it sets your foundation. So you should pick a setting powder close to your foundation shade, like I said before, and I think this did it. It is kind of thick, but then again, it's not bad. I think it did change the look of 1 or 2 of the foundations I use, more noticeably the MAC. So for that reason, I wasn't too happy with it when I did use it on my last video, which you would have seen yesterday. So I'm going to put this back in my collection and think carefully about whether or not it will be decluttered pretty soon. The Prism Libre is not going anywhere as far as being decluttered. I do like it. I have a lot more in here to use. You get a lot. So I'm going to put this back in my collection for now, but you know, I'll be pulling it later. And let's see, let's move on over to the lippies, which were all right by me. I have on the Charlotte Tilbury one right now, and loving it. On top of it, I have the e.l.f. This is one of the, let me wipe this clean. This is one of the glows. So I have the, it's called a Glow Reviver Lip Oil. And that's what's on my lips along with the Charlotte Tilbury. Just to give them that shimmer. Or shine, I should say. So those are going back. I like both of those. And I also pulled in 2 other e.l.f. products, and I wore these and they work well. I basically wore them to work. There's one. Just enough color. And I think I used them in some looks. This one I definitely used in looks because it's that pink. I even wore it out earlier today. So I really like it. If you want to know the name of any of these, let me know in the comment section and I'll gladly provide it for you. Okay, what else? I used the Mented bronzer, and this, I did well with this. I didn't regret pulling it at all. I used it as more of a contour than a bronzer, and it works. So nice, and it does the job for me. I used 2 blushes, one from MAC. It is their Dimension, I think, one of their Extra Dimension blushes, and it's Look Don't Touch. This one is pretty, but it comes off a little pale or chalky on me, so it's not a fave, and it is going to be put in the declutter side because I'm just not feeling this shade too much. So that's that one. The Glowish, which is from Huda Beauty, worked all right by me. Yeah, I'm still forming my opinions on it, but yeah, it's just a blush, and it does, I think, give a little glow to the skin, and it works well with my skin tone. So no issues with it. You have to really pack it on, I think, to see it. That may be one thing. There it is. Yeah. Is there a glow? Maybe there's a sheen, a slight sheen to it. So it's going back in my collection because it's relatively new, and I don't have any qualms with it. Okay, let's get into the eyeshadows. You would have seen all of, oh no, hold up, I've got a palette here, and I did enjoy using this. It is, however, quite old. This is from Sephora. This is the, what is it, holographic face and cheek palette, and I used this almost in every makeup look I did on camera. I really got into this color for the first time, which I really liked. Very neutral. I thought it wasn't going to do anything for me because it's essentially my skin tone. It's a very neutral looking color, but it's okay. Today I'm wearing this shade right there in there. Can you see it? I'll rub it in. And I think that's is why it's called holographic, but it kind of comes off looking a little ashy to me, but very nice. And I think it's kind of drying out a little bit, so I think I'm decluttering this one because I think its better days are gone. And I think that concludes the face palettes, the blushes, and the bronzers. So now we can get into the eyeshadows. I picked 2 Chanel palettes, both very spring looking palettes. You know, April was a iffy month. If you go outside one day, it was cold, you needed a coat. The next day, it was spring, you wanted to pull, you didn't want a coat on, you wanted to pull your sweater off, your jacket off, and just enjoy the sun. So I think my makeup tray reflected the weather from April very well. As you can see, like I said, I have this eye look on here, thinking of Halloween being halfway there, you know, in the year. I love the ooky spooky, and so that's, you know, why I'm doing this. But These palettes were perfect, like I said. I did use one in a collaboration, and guys, I didn't bring the best look to you with this palette. I since wore it to work, and I got better color payoff from this palette by mixing the eyeshadow with the eyeshadow primer and then putting it on my eyes together. So this can do a great job when you know how to use it. So it may stay in my tray for another month. I'm not sure. This one I wore to work this week as well. I love to play in that purple in the outer corner and that pink. I think I wore this to work yesterday and really enjoyed it. So very nice, pretty pinky and purple punchy look. All right, next I had a Dior palette. Did I use this one? Oh yes, I did. This was a workhorse during the month of April. Really got a lot of use out of this. I did a look for you with this palette, a neutral look, right up my alley. Beautiful formulation, just the colors go on so smoothly. Chef kiss to Dior. I like Dior over Chanel, I must say. I think you may know that. And next I brought in a Tom Ford palette, another palette that was really good for wearing to work. I think I wore all of these colors actually. Yes, I did. And I mixed them with the primer, put them on my eyelids, and they stayed all day, mostly. I did touch up, I think, around 2 o'clock, but good job. And I do like Tom Ford's formula, especially the wet dry formula, which this is. You can see the little TFs in there, possibly. I've been using it, so it's nearly gone. And this palette is Cognac Rose. Did I say what the other two were? I don't think I did. Or 3, actually. The Dior palette is in number 469, Atelier Dior. Again, this kind of taupey neutral. And the Chanel, this one that I'm putting back for sure, is number 228, Tiz Cambon. I don't know. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing those incorrectly. And the one I may keep in my collection or tray for May is number 88, Delices. Yeah, this one. And Dior came out with a palette for their spring or summer collection that had a yellow and a lilac or lavender color in it. I was quite tempted, but since I had this one by Chanel, I didn't. I mean, it would have been good to get it and compare the formulas, but I know I like Dior better. And guys, I haven't used this one that much, so I said, no, I'll let it go. Another palette I pulled in from my collection to use in April was a new one to me, Kat Von D. This is the Surreal Bloom Metallic palette, and I did a look with it. All metallics, very nice creamy formula. I'm surprised it's all metallics, and it took a little bit for me to get used to them, but I loved it. Very nice, creamy shadows. I started off the month with the Diamonds for April palette. This is from BH Cosmetic. They could do no wrong back in the day, as far as I was concerned. This is what it looked like. I did that birthday look for Friday Night Lights. Loved it. Love this combination. You get everything you could need as far as the different formulations in that palette to put on your eyes at the time. Blood Moon is what's on my eyes today. And if you saw my video yesterday, which was a collab video, Beauty Over 40, I used this palette for that look. And I had to pull it out again to do this look because I had only used it, I think, one time during April. And I thought, why not do this spooky, spooky Halloween look? And I used the orange, the purple, and a little bit of the Eclipse here, and a little bit of the, what is this one? Sanguine. And I tried to use the Celestial, but it just pulled off too pink. So yeah, I'm putting that one back. You know how I feel about that palette if you saw that video. If not, check it out. And I did use this is by Adept Cosmetics. This was new to me for the month of April. Elements 11.5 palette. Beautiful if you like shimmers and you like color. This is up your alley. The formula is nice. You get just a, look at that swipe of color there. Look at this one. Ah, beautiful. Totally love it. Check it out if you haven't already. Very nice and feels so good. And lastly, I brought in What's the Tea because I did a Friday Night Lights look with National Tea Day. These colors were all neutral, but they came through for me pretty much for that look. There's a little bit of shimmer here as well as some mattes. Nice formula. I always thought this was too light, too pale, too boring, but I did enjoy using it for that look, and I did wear it to work during the month of April. So guys, I think that wraps it up for what I pulled into my tray for the month of April. I am going to take out the Armani mascara because it's just a little too clunky. It's time to go. I will declutter it. And oh, I did use two other things. I usually don't pull these things. So I will let you know. I pulled in a ColourPop eyeliner and I used this for a particular look. Pretty creamy, pretty nice, and it lays down and stays down for a while. And I pulled in Maybelline's Color Tattoo, and this is in Knockout. It's a cream and it's a satin at the same time, and I did use it in a look as well. Friday Night Light look. And I wore it to work. So quite nice. I'm glad I pulled out a single because I usually don't. So now I am done with everything that I pulled for April. How far are we into this video? 22 minutes. Woo! Let's get to shopping my stash. Why don't we? Keep watching. Everything I used last month is sitting here, and I will put them back after I pull items for May. So let's get to pulling and shopping for May. First up is primer, so I want to pull a face primer, not so much an eyeshadow primer, because I have the Juvia's Place I'm still working through and the glitter primer. So over here, I think I will go with a sample of Smashbox just to get that done, and maybe this One Size by Patrick Starr. I think that'll do it. Over here in powders, let's pull this Mented. This is a setting powder and it's in medium deep. And for concealer, let's go with, I'm going to do one of these LA Girl Pro concealers because I think they're getting old and they need to be used. This one I think I will pull. Let me get my magnification glass and see what color that is. It is in Chestnut. So that's going there. Do I want a lighter one from here? I have Fawn, which was very popular. Oh, and this is a color corrector in orange. And in this drawer, I think from this side of the room, I'm going to keep it simple. I am basically aiming for products that are alike, just so I can play with them some. From this drawer, I already know, I'm going to pull this Mented. This is a highlighter palette from Mented. And I'm going to go with the other bronzer I have from Mented, Yacht Life. And I'm going to put back Out of Office, which I used. So that's going back. Anything else in there? No, I think I'm good. The next drawer down are new things, and I don't really want anything special out of here but a sample pack. And it's from this concealer that I saw in Sephora. It's Kofi, and it's supposed to be a hydrating concealer plus a crease-proof concealer, and that's what's interesting me in it. So I think I'm going to pull this and give it a sample. There are various shades there, and without a doubt, I think I'm here. On the end, Sunny, and then there's Gloss, Sunny Saddlefall or something, and then Glossy Guava. So I may be between those two. That's going in, and we can move on over and out. I'm in my blush drawer here, so let's see what's here. Do I have a Mented blush? I think I do. It should be back here. That's e.l.f. Mented. Do I have one or any more? Any more? Guess it's just this one. Ooh, that's rather deep, but I can make it work. We're pulling it. And I'm going to put back this blush. Did I have another blush from here? Thought I did. Oh, I got rid of it. So yeah, that's it from here. This lipstick drawer needs a proper cleaning and decluttering. It's going to happen soon. I think by, this is May, June for sure. Alrighty, I'm going to put back these e.l.f. products here. I'm just going to stick them here because they're newer. And I don't foresee that I want anything out of this drawer right now. If I do, I can come over here and get it. But I think I'm good. Oh, wait a minute. Take that back. I'm going to pull this Urban Decay lipstick. It's a very old one, but I really love it. I need to pick up a new one. So that will help me to remember to do so. Okay, 2 eyeshadows. Not quite sure if I want anything from here. Oh, I'll have to take a look. Guys, it's really warm in this beauty room today. I think it's like 80 something outside. You know who we haven't played around with in a while is Natasha Denona. Don't know what I want to do. Whether I want one of her minis or I want a larger palette. Don't have that many of these. Really not feeling any of these colors at the moment. Maybe this one. We'll put back the Maybelline Tattoo. Okay, let's pull this little mood one. And I saw Linda use her larger palette like this, so let's pull that and see if I want to use that. And do I have anything else to put away in that drawer? I don't think anything could fit in that drawer. Okay, we're out of here. Okay, over here in this drawer, I know right off the bat I want a palette for May. The Birthstone collection for May. Which one would it be? January, February, March, April, May. Was that May or is that June? That's June. May is emerald. Green. That's for May. We're going to pull that. And we're going to put back the diamond. January, February, March, April. Surprising. This drawer has been a challenge to get in focus here. So hopefully my head is not blocking anything. Don't even know if I'll find anything in here. Oh, yeah. Let's do this Ace Beauté Floral Vintage palette. Yes, let's do that. I have one Dior palette to put back, and I have moved all of my Dior, most of them anyway, palettes to this drawer here, except for the one that wouldn't fit. And I think I'll put this one back. And I do want to pull a Dior palette. One of these older ones, I think. Okay, I can see it's this one. It's quite old. I think I want to play with this. Let's get over to the other side, and I think we will be done. You know what? I'm going to pull those things off camera just to wrap this up because I'm getting really warm, and then I'll show you what I pull when I get back to the tray. That sounds like a plan, Stan. Okay guys, I have gotten everything together, brought it over here to the vanity, grouped them together so that I can present them to you. I've mixed them all together, the things I shopped with during the video and then things I shopped for after the video, so we're ready to go. I feel so warm. Who turns the oven on and bake a leg of lamb when it's like 80 degrees? Me. Whew. Anyway, let's start with primers. I pulled a sample of Smashbox. I believe this is another one of those silicone primers, but it's just a sample, so I'm going to give it a try. Also pull Patrick's Star One size. It's good for sweating and things like that, so it's supposed to keep your makeup in place if you sweat a lot. I'm going to work with it again. It doesn't quite work totally like that for me, I have to admit, but it is mattifying, so I'm going to use it. And then I sampled this with a makeup look already during the month of April. This is the YSL. This is a silicone primer. I'm putting this in my tray as well. So I have 2 silicone primers, or full size, or well, not full size, 1 trial and then a regular size that I am leaving in my tray from last month, and then the sample. So 3 silicone primers and 1 matte regular primer, if you can say. Alrighty, I had to stop because it said that my card was full. I put in another card. Editing is going to be something else with this video because it can get crazy. But anyway, I pulled the Ace Beauté palette. This I think is perfect for May. It just talks about, it shows us all different kind of lovely colors for flowers, and it has floral names there. So I'm looking forward to using that. And then it has this pretty pink there. Good quality in this palette. Good quality. Silky feel. And shows up. So I'm looking forward to using it. And I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this little one, Moods, in because it is a green. Yeah, it won't hurt. I got plenty of greens already though. I'll just leave it. And then 2 palettes that are kind of like wild cards. This one definitely is. This one makes me laugh or smile every time I look at it because it was such a mistake. I ordered it from Temu. The Veroni eyeshadow palette. Guys, I don't know who this is for. It should be in a kid's little play kit. But I'm going to use it. I am going to use it because it makes me smile when I remember ordering it and seeing what I got. Totally different things. And lastly, I pulled out for palettes, I pulled out Xmas sweaters, Christmas sweaters. And I wanted those colors. Look at those greens. I told you I have a lot of greens going on this month. But what is May Day but a lot of florals and greenery. Lastly, to go over, I have lipsticks or lip colors, and I've only pulled 3 because I intend to share some with you. I pulled 3 lippies. Let's start with Urban Decay. I know that this one is quite old. I hem and hummed about getting this lipstick back in the day when I wasn't wearing much makeup, and I don't know why, because I totally loved it to pieces, and it had such shimmer and just light catching qualities to it. It wasn't large particles or anything, but it was just my kind of a color that I like to wear, and I'm so glad I have it. So I wish I had picked up a backup of it, but it's had better days. It doesn't smell, but it's not as bright as it used to be or intense. It still has some color there. It's pretty. And it's moisturizing. Next, I pulled in the Valentino Lippy. I did a review of this already, so I want to get more use out of it. This is a newer item, like was saying, to my collection. This is a newer item to my collection. It's Rosa Valentino in 190R, and it's essentially a nude. And I'll talk a little bit more about these maybe sometime during this month, probably early on, but there it is. That's the Urban Decay, and that's the Valentino. Very moisturizing. It's a creamy lipstick. Feels great on the lips. I couldn't believe how nice my lips felt when I put that on because they were very dry. And lastly, I have YSL. This is one of their Slim Go mattes. This is selling out. I think it's going to be discontinued, or like this color is not available anymore. I have it in number 205, and there it is. Where is it? Right there. It's like a brick red. So it's a matte, but yet it gives you a glow. And I have it on my lips right now, and I'm loving it. It feels great. So guys, that concludes my Shop My Stash for May. I think it's going to be another great one. I am looking forward to using everything, implementing them into looks for collabs and Friday Night Lights, and just my everyday makeup. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a fun one. And now that it's technically May, I can get rid of my Halloween yearly look. I can go ahead and take it off and yeah, get into the Mayflowers. Guys, thank you for watching. I hope you will tune in to the looks that I create, and I'll see you then. Stay well.